That's why they stood like that, because they did it just for that. They're telling me I need to get a number, different numbers.
Sholo Ford, Drive One. Also brought to you by Ace Hardware, McDonald's, Williams Brothers Automotive, Frontier Communications, A1 Transmission, Indian Pine Restaurant, Summit Healthcare, Sunrise Park Resort, Black Diamond Auto Glass, Subway, The Tack Shop, Sonic, Octopus Car Wash, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Now let's head to the ballpark for Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Andrew Hutt. Good evening, everyone, or rather good afternoon. Welcome to Sholo High School, home of the Cougars, and host today to the Alchesay Falcons. Camden Smith, Mike side with Punt Cooley, as the Sholo Cougars face the Falcons today. And Falcons, a much improved team over last year. Cooley, they've got a couple of key wins, one against Santa Cruz, one against Safford, and they played a decent game against Coolidge. In fact, they had a tight ball game headed into the sixth, but Coolidge hits a grand slam to kind of separate themselves from the Alchesay Falcons. So the Falcons surprising some folks this season.
Absolutely. You look at their schedule, you know, you can see their earlier games in the season, of course, probably a little choppy, a little rough. A lot of these guys that are playing today for the Falcons played hoops, so that, you know, transfer from one sport to the next can be a little tough in those earlier games. But I got to tell you, as you mentioned, Camden, they really seem to be settling in terms of their performance on the diamond in competition against some pretty good high school teams. So it'll be an interesting game today.
Set to go here from Sholo High School. Reminder, you can watch today's game at italk1067.com. That's ITALK1067.com. Live streaming video presented by City 4 TV and White Mountain Youth Production. Students from Sholo High School today bringing you the live coverage, and we can see the shot from center field. It's a beautiful picture today. Get a chance, log on at italk1067.com. Also, today's game will be replayed on City 4 TV next week on Monday, Wednesday, and again on Friday at 7 o'clock, then 1:30 on Saturdays. As the Alchesay Falcons trying to get a leadoff walk here as their leadoff hitter, Austin James at the plate. And on the bump today, Sam Tate throwing for the Cougars. And a ground ball chopped back up towards the middle. Lewis going to range over in front of second, but he can't come up with it. And we get our first base runner of the game. One of the things that the Falcons have improved on this season is their hitting, and we see a great example there as their top hitter, Austin James, gets aboard.
Well, he does a good job. You know, he starts off with 3 straight balls and takes that fourth pitch for a strike, and then that next pitch pretty much right in the same spot, right down the meat of the plate. And James able to get around on it. Dave Chimera cuts the grounder off, but just can't cleanly field it and get the throw off.
Quick throw back over to first. Back in time is James. So Sam Tate making sure that Austin James, who is prone to run, feels his presence here.
And Sam Tate, Camden, only one appearance so far on the mound this year for the Cougars.
Brennan Alchesay takes a look at one around the letters, ball one.
I should say one appearance prior to this game. So Coach Nicholas going deep into his bullpen today.
Two-step lead over there by James, and a tap foul ball back towards the warm-up circle as our on-deck hitter, McTavius Victor, picks it up and throws it back in. Ball and a strike to Alchesay. Tate working from the stretch, peeks over, and the 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Couldn't catch up to that curveball, dropped out of the zone.
That was a good pitch by Tate, low and outside. Probably a little out of the zone, but not a pitch that the hitter was willing to let go. Had a good cut at it.
And the pitch is up high for a ball. As Tate a little overthrowing here in this first inning. With that fastball, we've seen it sail up on him a couple of times. James measuring out a 2-step lead at first, and this one in the dirt, going to get past the catcher. Wyatt going to hustle back, and James going to take a look at 3. Wyatt back in time, though. We'll throw it back in for the Cougars. And a Wild pitch is scored, and Austin James ends up in scoring position at second base.
Yeah, Jace Wyatt really did not have a shot at that. That looked like a curveball that got hung up on his release.
And this one is fouled back and out of play behind us.
Get your glove.
Yeah, it's going to be the money ball back there. So Victor McTavius awaits on deck, and Brennan Alchesay stays alive with a 2-2 count. Now the count full, actually. And this one downstairs and away, and so they walk him.
Well, good discipline at bat that time by Alchesay. Again, low and outside pitch, but a little too far outside and lets it go to get the walk. So Alchesay with 2 runners on. Nobody out here in the top of the first.
McTavius Victor now, number 3 hitter in the lineup for the Falcons. Plays behind the dish, and this one popped straight up and back, and it's in territory. Wyatt going to grab it right at the screen. Out number 1.
Outstanding play by Jace Wyatt. Turns his back to the infield as you're supposed to do on those foul balls. And that for a while there, Camden thought you might be able to make a play on that one.
Yeah, it was going to be close.
Straight up.
And I would have caught it. What a look in disbelief. I mean, come on.
Because I saw you throw earlier.
Well,
if you're catching us anything warm. Like you're throwing.
I wasn't warm. Come on. Runners at first and second, 1 out. And I didn't get a chance to even talk about McTavius's helmet. He's got one of those organ looks to his helmet.
Yeah, he's got a chrome
silver
helmet.
Yeah.
It's pretty flashy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Cleanup hitter now for the Falcons. Don Chevelle Quintero at the plate. This one a called strike that's down around the knees, and Quintero looks down and says, hey, wait a minute, I'm a little taller than that. Ball 2 strikes to Quintero. Tate peeks back at second at James. This one is delivered, and a line drive to right out of play. Foul territory.
Well, Quintero is a big, tall drink of water, a senior. We don't have heights on the lineup here, but I'm guessing 6'1", maybe 6'2". So, and he's in the 4 spot, right? 4 or 5 spots.
He's
so
cleanup.
We'll see what he can do here with 2 runners on.
Hitting right around 300. This one a line drive, going to fall for a base hit. Quintero's going to drive in at least 1. In comes James. They're going to wave Alchesay around for a turn. Quintero tries to dig it out, and he does. He gets a 2-bagger here. They hold up Alchesay at third base. So a run across for the Falcons. Austin James comes in on the play, and an RBI for Don Chevelle Quintero. And in there for a double. So Quintero at second base. Alchesay Brennan ends up at third, and strike is called to Arnold Walker. And a high fly ball to left. Left fielder going to range over. Could be trouble, and he can't get to it. Another run will come in. They're going to wave Quintero around. Quintero going to come in, and he'll stand up. So a 2-run, 2-bagger here for Arnold Walker to score 2.
And a good piece of hitting by Walker. Left-handed hitter punches that ball, kind of an outside pitch up high. But just goes with the pitch, drives it out into left field. It looked like for a minute there that the left fielder, Jerome Fawcett, had it dialed in, but just couldn't catch up to it.
So Walker at second base, and up to the plate comes Gabrielle Adley. And I think one of the things that we talked to the Falcon coach about was the fact that this team's starting to believe.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing in baseball.
Huge thing, you know. And having confidence, whether it's hitting or fielding, makes a big difference. And clearly, Falcons wasting no time right here, punching early and getting 3 quick runs. Doing a good job so far against the starting pitcher for Sholo, Sam Tate.
Falcons lead 3-0. Runner at second, and a ground ball chopped to short. And a big throw over to first. Nicely done. And now a throw over to third. They're going to end up getting a double play out of it as Arnold Walker is picked off. And
I'm not sure what was going on there.
I think they wanted him to go with the release of the ball. He left late and ends up getting thrown out. So it goes down 6-3, 5 on the card. for the double play to end the inning, but the Falcons score 3 in the first. Bottom of the first is next. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You know, I talk a lot about Ford trucks, and why wouldn't I? I mean, best-selling truck for 36 years running, because Ford's always thinking ahead to next year and not resting on last year. But now I'm going to talk about something different. Where you want to buy your new Ford truck. You just gotta drive by Show Low Ford to see how many trucks they have. Or go online to showlowford.com. And you know Guy Hatch is going to get you a great deal. Because he promises you he is not going to be undersold by anyone, anywhere. And if you know Guy, you know if he says it, he means it. And not only that, but all his F-150s come with lifetime engine warranties. Why would you think about buying anywhere else? Show Low Ford. We want to exceed your expectations. We're Show Low Ford, your friendly family Ford dealer on the east end of the Deuce.
Welcome back to Show Low High School, where the Cougars trail 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. Been a long time since the Cougars have started out in a 3-0 deficit in the bottom of the first, especially here at home. And it's coming at the hands of one of the most improved teams in the White Mountains, the Alchesay Falcons. Falcons come into this contest boasting a 13-14 record, 7-6-1, just over 500 in overall play. In section play, they are 0-2, but of course playing in one of the toughest sections in the state. But the Alchesay Falcons are a true contender this year to possibly make the playoffs, Punt.
Absolutely. You know, the record at this time of the year, of course, you know, it's a good gauge of how well they're playing, but certainly not an indication of how you're going to finish. And if you're going to have a team get better during the season, having them pick up steam in the middle makes a lot of sense. And Coach Gokla is clearly able to work whatever magic he needed to get this team on track. The challenge today, of course, for the Falcons is seeing how well they do against this excellent hitting Show Low Cougar Baseball Club.
First pitch, foul ball, and out of play down the right field line. First baseman will give it chase for the Alchesay Falcons. That's Quintero over there at first. On the bump today for the Falcons, it is Austin James today. And the kick and the deal is low and away, ball and a strike.
And James starting Chimera off with 2 breaking balls to start here. And brings the third on that third pitch for a 2-1 count. Chimera coming into today's game with a .467 batting average.
And the 2-1, slap back to the pitcher, throw over to first in time to retire Chimera.
And James just gives him a steady dose of breaking balls. That last pitch on the outside half of the plate, and Chimera just couldn't get the barrel on it that well, and cleanly fielded by the pitcher to toss him out at first for the first out.
Chimera hitting over 500 this season, and he's done a great job. I think his on-base percentage is up over 500 as well. One out here in the bottom of the first. 3-0 lead for the Alchesay Falcons. They start Dustin Gaskill off with a strike. And this one in the dirt. Got away from James there for a moment. And we welcome aboard in our broadcast today head coach of the Show Low JV team, Brandon Todd.
Thanks, guys. Pleasure to be here.
Ground ball to third. Picked up there, throw across the diamond in time, and they retire the speedy Dustin Gaskill. 2 up, 2 down, bottom of the first. And the Falcons looking pretty tough here in the first inning.
Nice way to start. 1-2 quickly. TJ Henry, the third baseman for Alchesay, positioned well right at the at-bat. Didn't really have to move and just fielded it cleanly. Got the throw over to first to get that second out.
Brings up Chase Wyatt. Wyatt digs in, the lefty. Takes his first look at a breaking pitch that stays high and away.
And Wyatt, again, one of the better hitters for the Shoulder Cougar Baseball Club, coming in with a .475 average to today's game.
And James will pitch a fastball that'll be driven to right, deep right field in foul territory. They're going to make the play out in right field. The right fielder ranging over, battling the sun, doing a nice job there. Out in right today, it's Beatty. And that's 3 up, 3 down for the Cougars in the first. Will step away. It's the Alchesay Falcons on top, 3-0 as we go to the second inning. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Remodeling your home? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need new shingles? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Building a new deck? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need siding? Want to save money? Yep, Case Supply saves you money on siding too. Case Supply has the best prices and the best selection on roofing, siding, decking, windows, and doors. Even better than the big box stores. So the next time you want to save money, see Case Supply in Taylor, Pine Top, and now across from the Dairy Queen in Sholo.
And you're hot.
You know, Punt, we were talking to the coaching staff, Sholo coaching staff, before this one got started, and we were jokingly telling them that we were rooting for an upset today.
How'd they appreciate that, Camden?
No, they didn't take too kindly to it. But I'll tell you, though, in all reality, this Alchesay Falcon team is a team that can come up and surprise some folks this season.
Well, you know, they have an athletic bunch. You know, we talked at the top of the show, a lot of these guys are basketball players. Not that basketball easily translates into baseball by any means, but still an athletic bunch. So.
And a swing and a miss at the first offering here. So the Alchesay Falcons looking at their bottom 4 hitters, actually bottom 3rd. Tolino at the plate now for the Falcons. Ball and a strike to Tolino.
You know, and one of the keys, I think, for the Falcons, at least in that first inning, in their hitting, they weren't chasing bad pitches, which can make a big difference. And so far, they seem to be holding steady on that line.
Chopper to second. Play made over at first base. 4-3 on the card. 1 gone. Tolino retired. Beatty to the plate for Alchesay. It's Gaskill playing at second base today for the Cougars. And a breaking pitch that catches the outside corner here. Pretty looking pitch there by Tate.
I'm sure I'm behind on this, but have you guys talked about how beautiful a day it is today?
Oh, man.
My goodness.
Can we get any better weather? Ground ball chopped to first and unassisted over there at first base for the Cougars today.
Tristan Swanson.
Swanson going to make a decent looking play. He makes it look easy, and that's not an easy play on that hop.
Well, we were talking about the weather the last time we were here, Camden. I think we had like 40 or 50 mile an hour gusts. And
well, that's true. But that's typical.
Yeah, but today is an awesome day. Just a slight breeze, an occasional gust, but the temperature is great.
I should have called in sick to work today.
TJ Henry, I know somebody that'd be upset if you did. TJ Henry, a ball and strike to him, I believe. Check the count for you. And this pitch is low and away. So 2 balls and a strike to Henry, number 9 hitter in the Falcon lineup. This one a fastball that's upstairs. Tate behind in the count now, 3-1 to TJ Henry, top of the order on deck for the Falcons. And it catches the outside corner. This umpire has been calling that low pitch.
Looked like a ball to me, but here's the thing about that pitch, that if you call it all game in that spot, then it's okay.
So far he's been consistent as the 3-2 pitch is fouled back and out of play. And I was surprised, and I think the Falcons were surprised early on when they got that pitch called on them, and that's but it's the same pitch that we saw called earlier on. So far that consistency, as you mentioned, has been there. Line drive towards the gap in right center. And a base hit for TJ Henry with 2 outs. Top of the order coming up here for the Falcons.
Good quality at bat right there, too. Brings it to a full count, fouls off a high fastball. Gets a pitch he likes on the outside corner. Good job going with it. Line drive to right field. Solid at bat.
2 outs, 1 on, 3 across for the Falcons. 3-0 is their lead as we are in the top of the second. Fastball away. I think is that the football team that's grilling up hot dogs and hamburgers over there?
Whatever it is, smells good.
Yeah, come on out to the ball field. Great chance to enjoy some high school baseball today here in Show Low. Fly ball fouled away. And it's in foul territory, but a little too far for the right fielder today for the Show Low Cougars, who was playing more towards center field. Can't quite get there. That's Garrett Means in right today. Ball and a strike to Austin James. And the 1-1 is fouled back. Brennan Alchesay on deck for the Falcons. If you just joined us, it's the Falcons on top, 3-0. 1 on and 2 outs here in the second. 1-2 pitch coming here from Tate. He checks and comes. There goes the runner. And Wyatt's going to get him without even a slide. I think James knew he was done about halfway down the line. He didn't get the best of jumps. And so, Henry is caught stealing for out number 3. So they go 3 up, 3 down after a hit. And the Show Low Cougars come up in the bottom of the second, trailing 3-0. We'll step away. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You know, I talk a lot about Ford trucks, and why wouldn't I? I mean, best-selling truck for 36 years running, because Ford's always thinking ahead to next year and not resting on last year. But now I'm going to talk about something different. Where you want to buy your new Ford truck. You just gotta drive by Show Low Ford to see how many trucks they have. Or go online to showlowford.com. And you know Guy Hatch is going to get you a great deal. Because he promises you he is not going to be undersold by anyone, anywhere. And if you know Guy, you know if he says it, he means it. And not only that, but all his F-150s come with lifetime engine warranties. Why would you think about buying anywhere else? Show Low Ford. We want to exceed your expectations. We're Show Low Ford, your friendly family Ford dealer on the east end of the Deuce.
And you are hot.
Cougars trail here 3-0 to the Alchesay Falcons, and the Falcons have done a pretty good job. Got 3 up, 3 down in the first inning against the Cougars. Lead at 3-0, and then cleanup hitter James Lewis to the plate for Show Low. Breaking pitch in the dirt to Lewis.
Pitcher definitely has a game plan of starting these, at least not just starting, but heavy dose of breaking balls.
Well, and he's working them out away from the plate as well, not leaving anything fat over the middle. James Lewis, the senior for Show Low, coming into today's game, the leading hitter among starters with a .434 average and a couple of home runs this season. So certainly a hitter you can't throw anything fat over the plate with.
So far we've seen 3 in the same location, all outside and low with that breaking pitch. We'll see if James breaks one back inside. And he does. He just catches the outside corner, so he finally gets one across there. This time I think he went back to the fastball. It's James Lewis against Austin James here, and Lewis on the 3-1 pitch drives it deep to center field. This one going way back, and a one-hopper to the center field fence at the 364 mark. And Lewis is going to hightail it around and will get a triple on the play. Stand-up triple for James Lewis.
Well, a great at-bat for Lewis. That last pitch, again, trying to nibble on that outside half of the plate, but high enough up in the zone. Lewis just turns on it. Looked for a while there that thing might leave the park, but it ends up hitting the fence, and he gets into third with a stand-up. Good piece of hitting there.
Jerem Fawcett to the plate, and the pitch in the dirt, low and away to him. And Fawcett in the tournament over the weekend got an injury, actually going for a ball, cut his finger, his index finger on his throwing hand. Been bothering him a little bit. Fairly deep cut. I guess they've been putting super glue on it to try to keep it closed. And
well, you can see it when he grips the bat. He has his index finger pointed up. Right there, you see it right there.
Yeah.
Couple balls to him, no strikes. Runner at third and no outs here in the bottom half of the second. This pitch is low and away, and the count goes 3-0 to Fawcett. James going to have to work ahead in the counts if he's going to have a shot today of coming out on top, I believe, as he hits Fawcett now with a fastball. He took it all the way. So a 3-1 count to Fawcett. And the delivery is low and away, and they walk him.
Next up to bat, Garrett Meaners.
So the Show Low Cougars with a opportunity here. Runners on the corners, and Garrett Means steps up with no outs. They trail 3-0, bottom of the second. The Falcons going to have to work themselves out of a jam here. There goes the runner. The throw is cut off at short and gets away from the shortstop. And that's going to allow Lewis to score easily from third. So a miscue there on a high throw by the catcher.
Well, the catcher, McTavius Victor, throwing it to the shortstop, as you said, Camden, not even trying to get it to second, but unfortunately overthrew his shortstop, which allows Lewis just to walk in from third. So a major error there for the Falcons.
Throwing error on
here's the
Falcons. Go ahead, sorry.
I don't advocate on the first and third play. If you're not trying to let that runner from third score, instead of doing a trick play like that, just don't throw the ball down to second. What's the point of throwing it and almost having an error like that and letting that runner score? If you don't want the runner to score, fake throw it or just hold on to it. So I don't agree with that at all.
2 balls and a strike to Means. Runner at second in a 3-1 ball game. Cougars trail by 2. Tying run at the plate in Garrett Means. He'll hit a high fly ball towards the gap in left center field. This one going back, and it's going to fall for a base hit, make it a double. They'll wave around they wave around Fawcett. That Fawcett will return to the bag at third with a throw over. So Jerem Fawcett was held up tagging on that play at second base. Scoots into third base on the play. Garrett Means turns it into a double. We've got runners at second and third with no outs.
Well, a perfectly placed hit by Means puts it right in between the outfielders, left and center. But as you said, Camden, Fawcett really kind of forced there to hold up. Couldn't leave. Means almost, well, he didn't catch up to him, but Means wasted no time and just hurrying up to second, but unfortunately Sholo couldn't get the run in, but a well-hit ball.
The Alchesay outfielders are really playing these Sholo Cougars to pull the ball. You see the center fielder lined up way into the right field gap with Tristan the lefty up, and then the left fielder playing almost in the left center gap.
And that was one of the tricks there that Means took advantage of. Is you mentioned a high fly ball again towards the gap and left. This one going to hang up high though, but they won't get it. Left fielder cannot come up with it, so a run will score as they hold Means at second base. Jerem Fawcett comes in from third base on the play, and an RBI single will be recorded for Tristan Swanson. As Means holds up at second base and Swanson's at first. No outs still in the inning in a 1-run ball game. As the tying run now at second base for the Cougars. First pitch to Logan Barton is a ball. And the 1-0 catches the outside corner ball and a strike to Barton. Sam Tate on deck, number 9 hitter in the Cougar lineup today. And then we go to the top of the order.
And Barton, the junior, coming into today's game with a .270 average.
There goes the runners, and a double steal is on. The throw not in time, as Garrett Means able to get over to third, and Tristan Swanson at the bag at second. So the Cougars moving the runners up on the double steal.
Well, and Victor's throw from the catcher Victor to the third baseman T.J. Henry, also a little outside away, the other side of the base path, which really kind of didn't leave much for Henry to work with in terms of a tag.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Logan Barton after he fouls this one off, and the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, full count.
Got to tell you, I'm really impressed with Victor behind the plate, because he's getting a heavy dose of curveballs as well from the pitcher, and I haven't seen one get by him. Of course, I didn't see the first inning.
No, he hasn't let one go by.
There hasn't seen one, yeah, and he's probably blocked 5 or 6 balls already.
Payoff pitch, swing and a foul tip.
Well, the starter, Austin James for the Falcons, you know, we've been talking about the curveballs he's been throwing, relying pretty heavily on, but he's doing a good job of placing those pitches.
And the payoff again is a ground ball that's going to get through and will score at least one. In comes Means. Tristan Swanson getting the wave, and he comes in as well. So the throw not in time to get Swanson.
That's 2 more runs.
And a couple of RBIs for Logan Barton.
Up next to bat, number 2, Samuel Taters.
And the Sholo Cougars take the lead 4-3.
Must be amateur announcer night.
It's been amateur announcer night for our whole season.
No, not us. I'm talking about the
I know
PA.
what you're talking about. Just kidding.
Don't worry, the talent has arrived.
Yes. Yeah, we're glad that you could show up, Brandon. Where were you when we were setting up?
Strategically.
A shot.
You've learned some things in your short time in radio, haven't you? Logan Barton at first, and Sam Tate will try to help his cause here as the Cougars go up by a run, 4-3 here in the bottom of the second. Still no outs. Falcons really struggling here in this second inning. Ironically, it was the bottom of the order that they had trouble with. A hit and run on as the runner goes, and a foul ball is going to line drive down the left field line. So Barton will have to return.
Austin brings that pitch, looked like a fastball up and a little tight as compared to where he's been nibbling the outside half of the plate. That time he brings it right over, and Sam Tate just rips it right down the third base line. Unfortunately, foul ball for the Cougars.
James peeks in. The 0-2 delivery is upstairs, and a throw down to second as the runner goes. Barton in with a slide, and the ball gets into center field, and he'll take third base to boot. So a stolen base for Barton, a throwing error. Maybe a catching error. I don't know. It looked like the ball was there.
I'd go with a catching error on the second baseman. Gabriel Adley, not a bad throw by Victor. Looked like it would have been close, but maybe in time. But Adley just couldn't even pick the throw up to even get the tag going. So it allows the runner to get to third for the Cougars here.
1-2 pitch, hit towards short. And they may have Logan in a throw down as they throw to home plate. Logan got a big jump off third base.
They need to be careful with that runner.
And there goes the runner to second, and the throw gets away from the shortstop and into center field. That'll score Logan Barton from third. Sam Tate scoots over to third base, and you called it. Punt. Tate was at first. They had a runner at second. The Cougars send him to, or rather, had a runner at third. They send him to second base, forcing the throw, and the throw comes in, and another error at shortstop allows the Logan Barton to come in at home, and then also allows Sam Tate to scoot over to third base.
Well, a good piece of work by the first base coach for Sholo and Tate, recognizing Alchesay not paying attention, and take full advantage of it and just send Tate on. So just a bad piece of fielding that time by the Falcons.
And a conference there by the Alchesay Falcons to talk things over. 5-3 lead for the Sholo Cougars. Came into inning number 2 trailing 3-0, but have put up 5 here in the second. And a top of the order now coming up here for the Cougars, who were not very fruitful in the first inning. Went down 1-2-3 in the first, and the pitch inside to Chimera. Tate at third, still no outs. And a chopper towards short, going to be fielded nicely. The throw over, and he got his first baseman up in the air, and he lets it go over him. So another error here to allow a run in. Should have been a out there. I think Tate scores anyway on that.
Yes, he does. Brennan Alchesay, the shortstop for the Falcons, fields it cleanly, moving up quickly to grab that grounder. Just a poor throw to the first baseman.
You got to feel for James on the mound. Other than, 2 or 3 hits by the Cougars have been hard hits. Everything else has just been errors. And doing a good job getting ground balls and getting easy pop flies that should be caught, but just his defense behind him isn't able to make the plays. That's frustrating as a pitcher, too. Even more frustrating as a coach.
Absolutely. And, of all teams to be doing that against, you can't do it's tough duty to be doing it against a good hitting club like the Cougars. They'll make you pay, for sure.
4 hits on the inning for the Cougars. And Dustin Gaskill fouls one back. Still no outs, and the Cougars threatening to hit around the order here. Jace Wyatt on deck. High fly ball towards the gap in right center, and it's shallow right. And it'll fall for a base hit. Big turn at third. They're going to send him in. The throw to the plate not in time. Throw back to short, and they're going to get Gaskill. Gaskill thrown off there, and they finally get an out of it, but a run comes in. Chimera, courtesy runner for him.
Well, as you said, Ken, the base hit into the outfield, into right field, and the Falcons didn't line up their cuts. They just kind of tossed it casually back into the infield, and of course the runner for Sholo recognizes it and goes, just keeps running, goes all the way home. But credit the catcher, Victor recognizes that he's probably not going to have much of a play and at least gets an out at second with the runner trying to advance to second.
Ground ball, big hop, fielded nicely over to second, or rather to first, to retire Jace Wyatt for out number 2. 4-3 on the card, and the
number 6, James Lewis.
Man who started this inning, James Lewis, set to come to the plate for the Cougars. As Sholo has hit around here in the second, they lead it 7 runs to 3 here in the bottom of the second inning. And this one way outside, and there you see that movement by the catcher to stop that one.
What's impressive is that, I was a catcher in high school and college, and when there was nobody on, I didn't move over to block the ball. Backhand it. If I didn't get it, so what? The on-deck guy can get the ball. But this catcher blocking everything. That's impressive.
And a fly ball in foul territory. First baseman over to make the grab, and for the Alchesay Falcons, that's Don Chevelle Quintero at first to retire the Sholo Cougars. So finally, after 7 runs score here in the second, it is the Alchesay Falcons trailing now 7-3. We go to the third next. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Remodeling your home? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need new shingles? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Building a new deck? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need siding? Want to save money? Yep, Case Supply saves you money on siding too. Case Supply has the best prices and the best selection on roofing, siding, decking, windows, and doors. Even better than the big box stores. So the next time you want to save money, see Case Supply in Taylor, Pine Top, and now across from the Dairy Queen in Sholo.
Test 1, 2, check, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
And you're hot.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. Cougars lead 7-3. After an outstanding first inning, the Alchesay Falcons, who took the Cougars 1-2-3 in the first inning, allow 7 hits in the second without scoring in that second inning. And so they fall behind here to one of the best teams in the state of Arizona, the Show Low Cougars, who are sitting number 4 in the standings, according to the AIA365.com website. First pitch to Jerem Fawcett, who leads things, or excuse me, to, I didn't switch my page over.
Austin James, the pitcher.
Austin James. Ball and a strike to James. Top of 3, 7-3 lead for the Cougars. And a high fly ball towards left. Gonna go to shallow left, and the left fielder gonna range over to make the play for the Cougars. Jerem Fawcett in time to retire Austin James.
Well, that pitch is a fastball inside a little bit. James not able to really extend his arms on that swing, kind of just a pitch shot out into left field. I think the other day, though, Camden, that probably would have been a ball that may have had a chance of leaving the park.
Yeah, we saw that happen a couple of times, the wind blowing out here at Show Low High School.
By the way, on that day, we lost 14-4, in case you guys are wondering.
That's terrible.
It was terrible.
And a swing and a tip back to the fence. They should fire the coach.
I think so. Yeah.
If he wasn't on the chopping block already, he ought to be.
It's absolutely a coaching issue, in my opinion.
Fly ball to shallow center, and the Gaskill going to come out. He's called off by Lewis in center field there, and he makes the play.
Well, the Falcons still able to get the bat on the ball as we saw in that first inning. The difference this time seems that they're getting under the ball a little bit, popping up, whereas earlier they were doing a good job of just going with pitches and driving the ball through the infield.
Curveball strike to Victor, McTavius Victor, and that's the helmet I wanted to talk about, Punt.
Yeah, you really like that, don't you?
I do. Ground ball to first. And the short hop, nice play for the first baseman for the Cougars today, who is Tristan Swanson, steps on the bag, and the Falcons go 1-2-3 in the third. 7-3 lead for the Cougars. As we go to the bottom of the third next, this is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You know, I talk a lot about Ford trucks, and why wouldn't I? I mean, best-selling truck for 36 years running, because Ford's always thinking ahead to next year and not resting on last year. But now I'm going to talk about something different. Where you want to buy your new Ford truck. You just gotta drive by Show Low Ford to see how many trucks they have. Or go online to showlowford.com. And you know Guy Hatch is going to get you a great deal. Because he promises you he is not going to be undersold by anyone, anywhere. And if you know Guy, you know if he says it, he means it. And not only that, but all his F-150s come with lifetime engine warranties. Why would you think about buying anywhere else? Show Low Ford. We want to exceed your expectations. We're Show Low Ford, your friendly family Ford dealer on the east end of the Deuce.
And you're hot.
Bottom of 3. And Jerem Fawcett will lead things off for the Cougars here. They lead at 7-3. And the PA is jamming here at Show Low High School.
It's an understatement.
They found some extra decibels.
My goodness!
Well, into these little speakers. Those speakers are just about shot.
Yeah, and added to the fact that we're pretty much sitting right on top of their speakers.
Is it a sign that I'm getting old? When even I was like, turn it down, you kids.
Right.
Yes, it is a sign of
that. That is it. Yep.
These kids these days.
Just reach over there and unplug that speaker, Punt, next time they get out of hand. Curveball in the dirt to Fawcett. Fawcett a walk, came around to score in the second. Top of the order, struggling a bit today for the Cougars. And this bottom two-thirds has done the majority of the work today. Called strike on the outside corner to Fawcett. And the 1-1 pitch is a high fastball that he racquetballs into left field.
Well, it's 3 straight curveballs from Austin James to Fawcett. That third pitch, however, over the middle part of the plate and hangs a little bit as well. And Jerome doing a great job of just getting the barrel around and getting the base hit.
So leadoff single for the Cougars. As Fawcett ends up at first base, Garrett Means to the plate. A throw over chasing Fawcett back. Fawcett with some speed out there at first. A threat to steal. 7-3 lead for the Cougars. Another throw over. As we get a great view of that from our cameraman.
Not a bad move by Austin James there. And as we've seen, Captain, in earlier games, the Cougars are pretty aggressive when they get their runners on. They're not bashful about moving guys up.
Reminder, you can watch today's game online at italk1067.com. If you'd like to see video of today's game presented by City 4 TV and our White Mountain Youth Productions, students from Show Low High School, bringing you the live pictures of today's game. And there goes the runner, Fawcett, going to get into second. And the throw down won't get to him. Or not there in time, I should say, as Fawcett records a stolen base.
Well, Fawcett getting a very good jump off of first. Not a big lead, as you said, but outstanding jump. And easily beats the throw down to second.
And a nice move to second, but the second baseman was off the bag that time, about 2 steps away from the bag. So unfortunately, they're unable to get Fawcett, who hadn't quite got out to a lead yet. Fawcett staying pretty close, about a 3-step lead there at second. And a called strike on the 2-0 pitch to Means. No outs. Runner at second for the Cougars. They lead 7-3 here in the third. Or I should say the fourth. No, it is third. Bottom of 3. Forgot to move my scorebook over when they hit around.
And a strikeout for James. Looked like some sort of changeup or something different than his curveball. He pulled the string on that one and got the hitter to swing way out in front to get the first out for the Falcons.
Tristan Swanson to the plate for the Cougars. A peek back at second. And a fly ball hit to shallow right field. Right fielder comes in. He loses it in the sun, and it bounces in front of him. And you hear the Alchesay fans not happy with the play out in right, but I'll tell you, if you've ever played at Show Low High School, that's one of the most difficult plays to make. They are facing the sun out there in right field, a setting sun here. And for the fielders that have played out in right, there's a lot of respect to anybody that is in that situation.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that yesterday in practice, we practiced just that. I put all the outfielders in right field, and I just threw them pop flies and had them work on blocking the sun with their glove or their non-glove hand. So you're right. It is absolutely another factor to deal with here at Cougar Stadium.
And working from the wind here, not even worried about the runner at first as Tristan Swanson moves over to second base, gets the stolen base. Jerem Fawcett at third. Moved over on the base hit by Swanson. And a chopper back up the middle. It's going to be cut off. A great play by the second baseman, but he won't have a play as he ranged all the way back behind the bag at second and makes a great backhand grab. But another base hit given up as Logan Barton scores a run on an RBI.
Well, that was a great play by the second baseman, Gabriel Adley, able, as you said, Camden, getting a glove on it. Had he not fielded that, we could have seen another run come in from the Cougars.
Fawcett comes in to score, and runners at the corners now, and a fly ball, call it a line drive to left, is foul. Sam Tate trying to get a hold of that one. He reached out and was somehow able to pull that down the left field line and pulled it all the way foul. One out
for you there. Just a giggle. That's all I had for you.
Thanks.
After that comment.
Reminder, this is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top, a Kopanicky communication station. 8-3 ball game. Cougars lead. Bottom of 3. Runners at the corners with one out here in the bottom of the third. Pitch inside to Tate. And a ball and a strike to him. See if the Cougars try to get Barton over to second. Fly ball towards the gap, hit well, and it is going to go. It's going to be picked up there. Caught by the center fielder. Tagging and coming in from third is Tristan Swanson as the Falcons make a play over to first to chase Tate back to the bag, or excuse me, Barton back to the bag, who had gone to second on the play. So 2 outs here with Barton retired, F7 on the card, but gets the RBI out to left.
Good piece of hitting by Tate to get that RBI. That was a well-hit ball. Now the wind, we are getting a little bit of a breeze from center blowing into home. So, but the fielder for Alchesay, Chandler Torino in center, had plenty of room, able to make a good play on it.
2 outs. And a line drive into the gap in left center. It's going to fall for at least one. As Barton takes the turn, they're going to throw to third, and Barton better unhitch the trailer. He finally gets there, but a break that time as a shortstop unable to get the cutoff throw cleanly and doesn't have a play at third base. Scooting into second on the play was Shamara. So Shamara will record a double. And Barton moves over to third.
Digging the jams that they got played for these walk-up songs right now.
Yeah, 2 outs, 2 on. 2 across here in the bottom of the third for the Cougars. They lead 9-3. Foul ball back behind us. Dustin Gaskill at the plate for the Cougars now. Gaskill 0 for 2 today. Grounded out in the first and in the second, hit one into left, but was thrown out.
Gaskill, the junior, playing second base today for the Cougars, bringing in a .484 average to today's game.
Pitch upstairs on the 1-1, and the count goes 2-1 now to Gaskill. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Gaskill, the 2-1, and a line drive to right. Will score Barton from third. They're going to wave Shamara around as well, and no throw. Shamara's going to make it in easily. So a couple of RBIs for Gaskill.
Well, and Coach Nicholas at third, wasting no time, sending Shamara from second. Just not a lot of it, from my perspective at least, not a lot of aggressive fielding by the Falcons, and Coach Nicholas recognizing that, taking advantage of it and sending runners.
Ground ball gets through the infield. There between third and short, they send Gaskill all the way into second. He comes in standing up, maybe a little ill-advised there, but Gaskill nonetheless safe at third. Chase Wyatt records a base hit. He was 0 for 2 before that one, and has his first hit of the game. Runners back on the corners. Already in this inning, 4 across, and the Cougars lead 11-3.
Looks like, I'm sorry, Camden, they're sending in Quentin Clark, the sophomore, to pinch hit.
Pitch across for a strike to Clark. We'll see if he's going to be inserted into the lineup for James Lewis here as a foul ball. Ball and a strike to Clark.
He's going to have a runner come in for Wyatt. Number 12.
It's Cade
Smith, the junior.
You could see that Wyatt was upset too when he saw the runner come out. He wanted to run the yell. Well, he's been pitch ran for the whole season, and it's frustrating when you get on base and have to go right back to the dugout.
Oh, a called strike to Quentin Clark, and they get out of the inning. A 2-out strikeout here against Quentin Clark for out number 3. And so the Show Low Cougars are able to score 4 in the bottom of the third. They lead 11-3. We'll step away. Fourth inning's next. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You know, I talk a lot about Ford trucks, and why wouldn't I? I mean, best-selling truck for 36 years running, because Ford's always thinking ahead to next year and not resting on last year. But now I'm going to talk about something different. Where you want to buy your new Ford truck. You just gotta drive by Show Low Ford to see how many trucks they have. Or go online to showlowford.com. And you know Guy Hatch is going to get you a great deal. Because he promises you he is not going to be undersold by anyone, anywhere. And if you know Guy, you know if he says it, he means it. And not only that, but all his F-150s come with lifetime engine warranties. Why would you think about buying anywhere else? Show Low Ford. We want to exceed your expectations. We're Show Low Ford, your friendly family Ford dealer on the east end of the Deuce.
Inside the Round Valley Dome. See you there.
Here's your audio. And you're hot.
Welcome back to the campus of Show Low High School, where the Cougars are hosting the Alchesay Falcons today, and so far haven't been real gracious hosts. They lead at 11-3 as we head to the fourth inning. And Don Chevelle Quintero leading things off for the Alchesay Falcons. A swing and a miss at the first offering. Next one's upstairs for a ball.
Well, the Falcons getting off to a quick start, Camden, in this game, getting all of their runs in that first inning. But since then, Tate able to settle in pitching-wise, and the Falcons, while still hitting the ball, just not getting the well-placed hits or the good hits that we saw them do in the first inning.
Quintero on the 1-1 pitch, fouls it right side, and the first baseman for the Cougars, Swanson, ranges over and makes the grab right in front of the fence. Nice play for him. One out, and Arnold Walker to the plate. The pitch to Walker is outside for ball one. Reminder that today's contest is available online at italk1067.com. That's italk1067.com. Special thanks to our students from Show Low High School today, making today's broadcast possible. Madison Connor, Lucas Mendoza, Mark Duncan, Donald Pierce, Anika Robinson, and Executive Director Mel West. Bringing you live pictures of today's contest. Line drive, big grab there by Gaskill as he goes to a knee, and he throws out Arnold Walker. Great play.
Fantastic play by Gaskill there, ranging deep into his first base hole. Sticks out his glove. I think he went down his knees just to slow down his momentum, and hopped up, made a strong throw to first. Great play.
That was a well-hit ball, too, so a good piece of fielding by Gaskill there for the Cougars.
Gabriel Adley to the plate now for the Falcons. First pitch to him outside. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth. The Falcons, who got 3 across in that opening inning, have struggled through the last 2. Now the last 2 and 2/3. And we make a correction, our apologies. Anika Robinson is the cameraman today. And a ground ball to first. 3 up, 3 down in the fourth as Swanson will take it unassisted at third base. And the Show Low Cougars take an 11-3 lead with them into the bottom of the fourth inning next here on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com. Back after this.
Remodeling your home? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need new shingles? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Building a new deck? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need siding? Want to save money? Yep, Case Supply saves you money on siding too. Case Supply has the best prices and the best selection on roofing, siding, decking, windows, and doors. Even better than the big box stores. So the next time you want to save money, see Case Supply in Taylor, Pine Top, and now across from the Dairy Queen in Show Low.
Here's your intro. And you're hot.
Welcome back to Show Low High School. 11-3 lead for the Cougars over the Falcons of Alchesay High School. Bottom of the fourth. Cougars
Up next to bat,
will have
number 12,
Jerem
Kate
Fawcett.
Smith.
Excuse me. Looks like Kate Smith going to come in for Fawcett here.
Rare at bat for Cade. He's normally a full-time pitcher. But up 8 runs in the fourth. Why not give him a swing? Should be interesting. I've seen him swing. It's going to be interesting.
So he only has 4 plate appearances, as you mentioned, Brennan. But he does bring in the whopping batting average of 667.
Hey, he's taking advantage of his opportunities. You can't fault him for that.
I'd like to see those hits.
2 hits on 3 at bats. So.
Well, you're going to see one right here.
There it is.
One off,
there it is.
Double.
Oh, he got it down there. It's fair.
He's got the wheels.
Smith going to turn the bag at first and heads to second, and he stands up with a double.
On cue,
So that's pretty much a facial from the player to the JV coach.
We were
so his average now
for
goes
the
up
JV
to
coach's head earlier.
I think he deserves player of the game for that.
Yeah, so what is his average
What's a
now,
facial, by the way?
In your face.
In your face.
Okay.
In your face. So
you're gonna diss me. I'm going to show you what I got.
So what's his average punt?
It was
667. So now it's 4 for 5.
So he's going to be close to 700.
Yeah. 800. There we go. We got Royce back at the studio doing the calculator stuff for us. So thank you, Royce. Good job.
And I'm going to question that. A line drive back to the pitcher, and James snags it out of the air, turns to try to get Smith sleeping at second, but he's doing a good job of freezing on the line drive, and he holds at second base. One gone as Garrett Means is retired.
What a beautiful snag. It's like a Sandlot type play where he just stuck up his glove and the ball just happened to land right in it.
Yeah, and he's having a little chuckle between him and the catcher. But nevertheless, a great play.
That's more of a protect my assets play there at the in the pitcher's mound, if you've ever had one hit back at you like that. I said assets.
I heard what you said.
I heard what you said.
You just were checking. I
was just wondering if there would be more letters at the end of that.
Tristan Swanson at the plate now for the Cougars as we quickly move along from that conversation. 11-3 ball game. Cougars lead here with 1 out. And a breaking pitch that's going to be fly and fair in fair territory to the left field, and they're going to wave in Smith. Throw to the plate, not in time. Smith is there. Stand-up double for Swanson. RBI.
I'm going to take this moment to do a little coaching lesson, if you don't mind. See the catcher, the ball's coming in from left field. The catcher took off his mask, expecting to play at the plate. Short hopped, hit him in the high chest protector. If anybody's listening out there and you're a catcher, always leave your mask on, because if you're going to block the ball and they hit you in the face, it's going to hurt a lot less than hitting you in the mask.
Not only that, but if you've got to play at the plate and the runner comes in with a collision.
Yeah. Absolutely.
More gear you have on, the better, I would think.
You catch you see a lot in the Little League level. They're taught to take off that mask, but really it doesn't impair your vision all that much, and you have more confidence with it on that you're not going to turn your face. You're actually going to get down and block the ball.
Ground ball towards short, fielded nicely. Backhand
nice
grab and a throw to second.
Beautiful play.
Get the lead runner. Tristan Swanson was a little too far off on the play and should have froze with the ball hit in front of him. He doesn't, and he pays.
Well, Brennan Alchesay just normally the play there would be to first to try to get the runner. But he notices that runner at second just bleeding off a little too far, and he wastes no time. Just a quick throw to the second baseman. So nice fielding job by the shortstop for the Falcons.
Good heads-up play by the second baseman, too, to be
Absolutely.
at the bag.
You bet.
So Barton hits into the 6'3 fielder's choice and arrives at first base with 2 outs.
That has car written all over it.
Foul ball, and it hits the does not hit the car.
Nice Toyota, too.
That is a nice Toyota.
It hits the pavement and bounces harmlessly away from the vehicles parked along the foul territory here at Show Low High School. Fastball, called strike on the outside edge for Sam Tate. Excuse me, new player in, Jace Brewer. Brewer in for Tate. And does that mean that Tate will be relieved from pitching?
I would assume so.
We did not get we don't ever get the calls. I don't know why nobody thinks to tell us what's going on. Of course, they tell us and we don't know what's going on anyway, so I guess that's they probably figure there's
they learn their lesson.
No use. Ball 2 strikes. We owe you a scoring update. We'll get to that in just a moment. 2-2 pitch. High fly ball. Right field, and the right fielder ranging over makes a dive at it in foul territory, but it's under the glove, and the count remains 2-2 to Brewer. Let's go back to the studio and check in with Royce Kincannon in this scoring update. Royce?
Thank you. We've got scores from around Division III baseball from yesterday. Page beats Pinion 27-0. Horizon beats Sequoia 12-2. Page beats Pinion in the second game 36-0. Chinley beats Hopi 10-0. Wallen Grove beats Troy Magnet 11-8. Scottsdale Christian 16, Central 1. Lake Havasu 11, Parker 0. And in girls softball from yesterday, it's Ganado over St. Michael 16-3. River Valley over Kingman 11-0. Chinley over Hopi 19-0. Agua Fria 11 and Estrella Foothills 10. Maricopa 21. Coronado 3. Lake Havasu 23. Parker 1. And Empire 14. Amphitheater 4. Back to you.
Welcome back to Show Low High School, and 12-3 is the lead for the Cougars. While we were away with that scoring update, Jace Brewer got a base hit. So runners at first and second. Barton moving up to second, and we get a change here. Looks like Colby Maxwell will come in to bat in place of Dave Chimera.
Did I hear a score of 36-0 during that scoring update?
I think you did. Shallow fly ball to left, and it's going to fall, and around comes Barton with 2 outs, and he'll score. Barton running on the hit. He scores easily from second. And Brewer moves up to second base. And is that going to be a base hit for Maxwell?
It is. You bet. Over the shortstop. The left fielder trying to dive to catch it, but just couldn't get to it.
Run batted in for Maxwell.
We'll have a little debate.
It's not the major leagues. You got to give a little credit.
Right, it's a hit. You convinced me.
It's a hit.
If I was the coach, it's an error. If I'm coaching that team, it's an error. The ball's got to be caught. It's in the air way too long.
So runners at first and second. Maxwell improves his batting average here, at least by our count. Not Brandon's, but ours. And a nice little ground ball play at short. Going to pick off Dustin Gaskill. The speedy Gaskill is retired 6-3 on the card for out number 3. Cougars strand 2, get 2 across. They lead at 13-3 here. And the 10-run rule in effect next inning. We'll step away. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Test 1, 2, check, check.
Royce,
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports.
Sounds weird when you say boy.
Become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
30 seconds.
Remodeling your home? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need new shingles? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Building a new deck? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need siding? Want to save money? Yep, Case Supply saves you money on siding too. Case Supply has the best prices and the best selection on roofing, siding, decking, windows.
I know
and
you are,
doors.
brother. I know
Even
you are.
better
Yeah,
than
you
the
got
big
30
box
seconds.
stores. So the next time you want to save money, see Case Supply in Taylor, Pine Top, and now across from the Dairy Queen in Show Low.
Welcome back to the campus of Show Low High School. Camden Smith, Mike Side with Brandon Todd and Punt Cooley to bring you exciting Division III baseball here today. Cougars and the Alchesay Falcons, 13-3 ball game, a 10-run rule in effect here if the Falcons cannot get a run across here in the fifth. And a new pitcher on the bump for the Show Low Cougars, Jace Brewer, who came in to replace Sam Tate. Brewer, pretty good-looking pitcher up there for the Cougars.
I played baseball with with Brewer's brother, Derek Brewer. Just a little FYI, in case Derek's listening. What's up, Derek?
Does the apple fall far from the tree? Derek was a pretty good ball player.
Derek was he was a heck of a ball player. He's a heck of an athlete. This is my first year knowing Jace, so I don't know. Jace is a pretty good ball player. But I can't compare him to Derek just yet. I'll let you know. Want to take a guess what he's throwing? MPH-wise?
Yeah. I think he's throwing
I'm going to put him at 72.
high 60s.
Okay, I'll put him at 72.
Brewer, a sophomore, comes into the contest with a 7.00 ERA.
And I'm a very generous person here.
Yes, you are. 65 miles per hour in his first pitch. He hasn't loosened up yet, though.
Yeah, it's true.
We'll give him some latitude here. He's only pitched 8 innings so far this season for the Cougars, so a good opportunity for him to get some reps today against the Falcons with this 13-3 lead. Ball and a strike to the Falcons. Chandler Tolino, who leads off this inning for them. A little more deliberate at the plate, or rather at the on the mound, is Brewer. 1-1 pitch misses upstairs. Curveball that didn't break. That's what we used to tell our friends when we would hit them. And there's one that didn't break. Inside, and a base on balls is served up to Tolino. Tolino hustles down. Wyatt gets the ball and holds him at first base. I think Tolino thought about maybe turning there at first.
This is a nice radar gun, Camden.
Thanks.
I don't really know how to work it yet.
Yeah, well, you'll learn.
Next up to bat,
Brings up Beatty.
number 44.
Oh, excuse me, it's going to be Claw in for Beatty. Am I supposed to get that change?
No, did you hear the PA?
No.
She announced some Claw, like a question. She wasn't sure the name.
She's probably not going to get any help from us.
No.
It is Claw at the plate, though, for the Alchesay Falcons. 13-3 ball game, and a pitch inside to Claw is Brewer struggling a little bit with his control here. Runner on, no outs. Fifth inning here from Show Low High School. Cougars lead at 13-3. 10-run rule in effect here this inning. Top of 5. And a breaking pitch that misses inside. Or an off-speed pitch of some sort. 3 balls, no strikes to Claw. We'll see if he has the green light. Incidentally, no third base coach yet for the Alchesay Falcons. This pitch is inside. He takes it. 3-1 count to Claw. On deck, T.J. Henry, and then we go to the top of the order for the Falcons, who scored 4 in the first.
3.
Excuse me, 3 in the first. Claw steps out. Time's called, and a 3-1 delivery. Called strike 2. Full count to Claw. Runner at first is Chandler Tolino. Brewer looks in, and a letter-high fastball is swung on and foul tipped back towards us. Just got underneath it. And it's got to be more than a mile per hour to register.
Well, see how fast he was throwing it back. 51.
Oh, I thought you were seeing how fast he was coming to the screen.
I'm just having fun. Having fun with the gun.
I thought you were having fun with Wyatt.
Okay.
13-3 lead for the Cougars. Fastball chopper down the third base line and picked up nicely by Barton, but he won't have a play at first.
Called foul ball.
Oh, foul ball. So Claw stays alive. Claw working the count here, doing a nice job. Good at bat for him. Wind picking up here, blowing out to right here at Show Low High School. And the payoff pitch again, ground ball to third, and it's knocked down by Barton on the backhand that time, but he can't come up with it cleanly. A base hit for Claw.
Combination of his glove and face, it looked like.
Tolino moved over to second, so runners at first and second. TJ Henry. Check it. Is it Benito up?
Yes.
May have a new hitter in for Henry. Peek back at first, or second rather, by Brewer, and a pitch in the dirt gets away from Wyatt, but he keeps it. Does a nice job of keeping it fouled. I guess it rolls off to the right there. Keeps it close, and the runners hold on. That is J.R. Walker hitting for Henry today, at this point. So Walker in for TJ Henry here. And 2 balls to him. This one in the dirt. So Walker out in front of the pitcher now. 3 balls, no strikes. Still no base coach at third for the Falcons.
There is one at first, though. So, I mean, you do see that sometimes they'll have their coach who gives the signs at first rather than third.
Don't you want a coach at third, though, to help determine when the runners need to come in or not?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying that the signs and things could be still coming from the first base coach.
Sure.
But I agree. You should always have a third base coach.
I think they were waiting for you, Camden, to just kind of
help
run
out.
up. Yeah, run up. They just assumed that you would be taking charge out there.
They're after me to help out. They're in trouble. Base on balls to J.R. Walker. Bases loaded here. No outs. Top of the order. Austin James to the plate for the Falcons.
Brewer really struggling right now finding the strike zone. Everything is in the dirt and outside.
Looks like he may be short-arming his pitches here a little bit. This one misses low.
Trying to place it rather than just throw it. You've got to realize you have a 10-run lead. You're not going to hit a 10-run home run. Just throw strikes.
James
There it
1
is.
for 2 today, and this one across for a strike.
And there goes our third base coach.
Yeah, they're going to get one out there. Fastball swung on, and it's going to get through the infield. It'll score 1. 10-run rule is now off the ballot for the moment, as the Falcons able to get Tolino across on the second hit of the day for Austin James.
And a well-hit ball at that. Nice drive right between the shortstop and third baseman to get the ribby and keep the bases loaded here in the 5th.
2 hits, no errors. Bases remain loaded with no outs here in the 5th inning, and a ground ball through the infield, and around comes 1 run for the Falcons. Make it 2, as they're going to get J.R. Walker and Claw both to score on the play. So 3 across, and the Alchesay Falcons making a little run here in the 5th.
Well, they're hitting the balls that are out over the plate, and Jace Brewer, you guys were talking earlier how much difficulty he was having getting the strikes, but now that he's throwing these pitches over, the Falcons not wasting any time of putting the ball in play.
Austin James at second, Brandon Alchesay at first base, got the 2 RBIs credited to him, and McTavius Victor to the plate for the Falcons.
I drop a bunt on the third baseline right now.
And this one across for a strike. Victor was taking it all the way. Going to see what Brewer has in his arsenal after struggling there in those first 3 hitters in this inning. 13-6 ball game. Cougars out in front.
Oh.
And a big cut at one in the dirt. Gets away from gets away from Wyatt. Wyatt chases it up the third base line, makes a throw to third, but over in time with the stolen base is Austin James.
Well, and Victor chasing a bad pitch there to give the pitcher a break. But he does have that chrome helmet on, so we'll see how he does here, Camden. You got your favorite helmet out there.
There goes Alchesay, and he's going to be caught. Now the throw to the plate as they send. Oh, they got him at home. They sent James on the play, and James didn't look like he could. It didn't look like he found the plate that time, as he was there in time, but doesn't get a foot on the plate.
Well, and Sholo was all over that. They could see what was coming, and as you said, he just slid short of home plate. But even then, Jace Wyatt was in perfect position, would have tagged him out regardless.
Go back to that play, though. Brandon, you had mentioned that it looked like Brewer balked on the play. Strikeout is recorded here against McTavius Victor.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. My eyes aren't what they used to be, but it did look to me that his left leg flinched before he stepped off and threw the ball to short.
I missed it.
So if he did, which it looked like to me, I was watching him for it. And so that is indeed a balk.
Chopper back to the pitcher, and Brewer going to retire. Don Chevelle Quintero for out number 3. 1-3 on the card. And for the Sholo Cougars, they give up 3 runs. The Falcons out of danger of the 10-run rule, at least for the moment here. Cougars lead at 13-6, up by 6. We'll step away. Up by 7. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You know, I talk a lot about Ford trucks, and why wouldn't I? I mean, best-selling truck for 36 years running, because Ford's always thinking ahead to next year and not resting on last year. But now I'm going to talk about something different. Where you want to buy your new Ford truck. You just gotta drive by Sholo Ford to see how many trucks they have. Or go online to SholoFord.com. And you know Guy Hatch is going to get you a great deal. Because he promises you he is not going to be undersold by anyone, anywhere. And if you know Guy, you know if he says it, he means it. And not only that, but all his F-150s come with lifetime engine warranties. Why would you think about buying anywhere else? Sholo Ford. We want to exceed your expectations. We're Sholo Ford, your friendly family Ford dealer on the east end of the Deuce.
And Duhut.
We take a look now at Jace Wyatt, who will come up for the 3rd time today. Call it the 4th time today. He's 1 for 3 today. Wyatt was pinch run for back there in the 3rd and didn't like it.
It's just frustrating as a catcher. I didn't get on base much, so I don't know how. I didn't get as frustrated as he does, but he hits a lot of doubles. He has 15 doubles on the season. He's probably going to break the record this year. He gets on base a lot. Every now and then, you just want to run the bases.
Curveball, and he gets a good swing at this one. Line drive to right. Going to get another base hit. 2 for 2 today for Wyatt. And pinch runner?
2 for 4 today for Wyatt.
2 for 4, sorry. Wyatt going to get pinch run for him?
No, actually, because who pinch ran for him, Cade Smith, is now in the game, and you have to pinch run the same player. Here's a rule for you guys. When you pinch run for someone, that same player has to keep pinch running for that guy, and then once that pinch runner enters the game, there's no longer a pinch runner allowed. Did you know that?
No, didn't know that.
I do know something.
Did not know that. Wyatt with a 4-step lead there at first. So you can take advantage of this opportunity. Quentin Clark at the plate for the Cougars. Struck out in his last outing, and this time they'll get hit by the pitch. Inside pitch. He turns and takes it like a man. Hit batsman. What do you call it?
I don't know. I just,
what do you? It takes it like a girl?
No.
Well, it was a curveball moving along here. It was a curveball by Austin. James, just not enough break.
Foul ball in foul territory, and running out of room is the right fielder. Cade Smith to the plate for Sholo. Brandon, you're just loaded with giggles. I mean, what?
I know, man. I'm all giggly right now. I don't know why.
What the deal is here.
I don't know. Just enjoying the day.
It was a very serious ball game until you showed up for the broadcast.
Sorry about that.
First and second, and a nice move to second, but the second baseman again playing off the bag. Not quite there to get the runner at second, Jace Wyatt, back with a head first slide. No outs. Cade Smith back in, and the 0-1 pitch to him. In the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and that'll move the runners up. Jace Wyatt moves down to third. Quentin Clark moves up to second. And Cade Smith, even count, ball and a strike to him.
Watch Cade right after I get done talking about him hitting. Hit a walk-off bomb right here. I'll probably never talk about him again.
We have talked about the catcher, though, for
Victor. Yeah. It's his first foul ball, or first pass ball.
First pass ball, yeah. And that time he just didn't drive his knees forward. I think he got a little lackadaisical, thought he could glove it.
Tried backhanding it.
And unfortunately, he lets it go through. You could see he was a little frustrated with it. Line drive to right. Base hit. Going to score 2. Wyatt comes in on the play, as does Quentin Clark. So 2 across for the Cougars, and they're 1 away from a 10-run rule. Is that right? 15-6?
One more make it 16-6, which is 10 runs.
10-run rule is back on the table as the Sholo Cougars have the winning run at first base in Cade Smith, who got the base hit to drive in 2 RBIs for him.
And he didn't even need a calculator for that one, Kevin.
That was good. That was good. I got to admit.
That was awesome.
I got to
Not bad for a catcher.
We take back everything we said about you during that last break.
Much appreciated.
Garrett Means at the plate for the Cougars.
I'm waiting for somebody to hit the target in center field.
I would like to see that. We should put money on that.
We should.
Have you never seen anybody hit the
Not the bullseye.
Tower? No.
We've seen him hit the water tower, but not the bullseye.
We're going to hit the bullseye, not just the water tank.
2 balls and a strike to Means, and I think if you went and got a sponsor for that, we could call it the bullseye, the water bullseye. Ooh, that White Mountain Purified Water and Ice ought to sponsor that bullseye out there.
Huh.
Hit the water tank and win $500 donation in their name to the as a scholarship to the school. What do you think?
I think it's nice. I like it.
Breaking pitch outside.
Well, what does a player get?
Yeah, do you have to hit the bullseye or do you just have to hit the tower?
Their name. It's a scholarship in their name.
Like the movie Bull Durham, when you hit the target, you get a free steak.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
so
but
I think somebody needs to pony up for that.
Yeah, you can't give high school students any.
They'll get over it.
It'd be a violation. Although if they're not going to play the next level, I say violate.
Who cares, right?
Yeah. Just give them
Just a steak.
So just ask them, you want to play college or you want this steak? Your choice.
I'm glad we've figured that out.
Well, here's the thing. When I was in high school, though, I remember getting a Player of the Game award for football.
Sure.
And I won like Dairy Queen or something.
Sure, against the rules.
I think you're the one who gave me the Player of the Award.
No, I didn't. I did
sure
not.
you did.
That wasn't us.
Pretty sure
That
it
was not. No, it wasn't. Fly ball and a throw to first as Tristan Swanson is retired.
We're going to get in trouble for that now.
Next up to bat, number 5.
You could get in trouble. In fact, you placed your entire collegiate career in jeopardy with that comment. And not only that, but your school is now in jeopardy because they
I'm going to call the NCAA.
Well, if nobody knew that, now they know. So if they wanted to get me in trouble, so thanks for that, Gambit.
And a curveball. Strike called to Logan Barton. 1 out. Runners at first and second for the Cougars. Means at first. Smith at second. Fastball got him on the ear hole, looked like. Did that hit the helmet or did it hit his shoulder?
No, it didn't sound like helmet. It sounded like shoulder.
Yeah, it was a pitch up. And again, I think Barton maybe looking, waiting to see if that thing would break, and it did not. It went right into his... Well, looked for a minute there like it was going to hit him in the head, but I think you're right. It hit him in the shoulder.
Do we have any stats on how many hit by pitches he's had this year? Do they keep those stats? Because it's kind of a running joke with the team about how many times he gets hit.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't get out of the way. He just turned and took it. Ground ball, and that should end the inning. Nope. They're going to get one at second. It'll score another run for the Cougars. So the 10-run rule will now finish the game for the Show Low Cougars. So the run comes in. Cade Smith scores on the play. Logan Barton was retired at second, and Jace Brewer is the man who drives in the winning run, gets the RBI on the fielder's choice. We'll step away. Back to recap this one for you. The Show Low Cougars win it here today, 16-6. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school baseball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Test 1, 2, check.
White Mountain Youth Productions bring you local high school sports, and they need your help. Your tax-deductible sponsorship keeps the high school students producing our local sports. To become a sponsor, call City 4 TV at 928-532-4160.
Remodeling your home? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need new shingles? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Building a new deck? Want to save money? Go to Case Supply. Need siding? Want to save money? Yep, Case Supply saves you money on siding too. Case Supply has the best prices and the best selection on roofing, siding, decking, windows, and doors. Even better than the big box stores. So the next time you want to save money, see Case Supply in Taylor, Pine Top, and now across from the Dairy Queen in Show Low.
$16-6 win for the Cougars today in 5 innings. A 10-run rule win over the Alchesay Falcons today. And punt, absolutely terrific ball game for really both of these teams. And I got to take my hat off to the Alchesay Falcons, who played terrific today, and I think better than most people would have expected. We thought this game was going to be a blowout. Last week, we talked about this game after Snowflake took a whomping from the Show Low Cougars. They got beat 25, I think it was 25-4 or something like that. And it was one of those games where we thought, man, if the Cougars are this good and can beat the Lobos this bad, what will they do to the Alchesay Falcons? The Falcons hung with the Cougars. In fact, they made a ball game of it, leading 3-0 through the first inning. And then the Cougars finally getting their bats started in the in the second inning, and taking the lead in the second. And that was a real struggle for the Falcons. They got a bunch of errors in that second inning and allowed some things to happen that the Cougars didn't really earn in the second. Although there was a lot of good hitting for the Cougars. We show 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 4 hits in that second to score 7. They led it 7-3 at the end of 2, but then the Alchesay Falcon bats just kind of went cold. They go 3 up, 3 down in the second, third, and fourth innings, finally getting their bats back on target in the 5th, scoring the bottom third of the order. Claw, Walker, and Tolino all got runs in that 5th inning to take the 10-run rule out of effect, at least for the top half of the inning, but then they allow 3 runs to score for the Cougars in the 5th as the Cougars come away with the victory 16-6. And, you talk about this Alchesay Falcon team, a terrific ball club, one that I think the Alchesay Falcons ought to be pretty proud of.
Absolutely. The first inning, I mean, they wasted no time of hitting quickly, put up 3 runs in that first and hitting the ball really well. I mean, Coach Nicholas for the Cougars going probably a little deep into his bullpen or his lineup in terms of the pitcher he starts with today, Sam Tate, who has not thrown a lot this year, but still, I mean, the Falcons showed the ability to hit the ball. As you mentioned, they kind of hit a dry spot in the middle of the game, but then they came back again. I mean, so the bottom line is these guys can hit the ball. I don't know what they would do against like a real ace type pitcher, but they seem to handle the curveball. They seem to be able to hit the fastball. So they did a great job. I think what really hurt them, as you had mentioned, was their fielding and the errors that they had. They had a really big run of errors in that one inning in particular. And not only does that hurt them in terms of allowing Sholo to score some runs in that inning, and they put up a lot of runs, but it kind of knocks you down in terms of your enthusiasm maybe a little bit. I think we could see that the Falcons probably, lost a little wind in their sails, I think, as a result of that. But give them some credit. They didn't lay down. We saw them come back, hit the ball again in those later innings and score some more runs. So, yeah, I mean, they're a good athletic ball club, with some coaching and shoring up some of the defensive stuff. I mean, they could play a pretty tight baseball game.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Coach Kyle Goklish been here with this club for 4 years and have watched these kids develop as freshmen, and that's one of the things that you like to see as a program developing down there in a sport other than basketball. And you don't see it very often, but when it does happen, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Coach Goklish, of course, not going to be with the team next season, but certainly something that hopefully this legacy will carry on, get more players interested in playing the game. And as we see them get into these tight ball games, a lot of times it's just a matter of being in the situation and being able to battle out of it. When you fall behind like that, have a bad inning, being able to realize, hey, we're still the same team. We just need to play better than we did in that inning. And I think we saw that in the 5th inning where the Falcons had their back against the wall. They actually played quite well in getting those 3 runs to get them out of the situation where they were going to be 10-run ruled in the top of the 5th. Unfortunately, giving up those 3 in the bottom of the 5th to end the game. But our hats off to Kyle Goklish and the entire Alchesay Falcon team on a terrific game today. They had a good showing today against the number 4 team in the state in Division III baseball. That is the Sholo Cougars. And remind you that this is the Sunrise Park Resort post-game wrap-up show brought to you by the Sunrise Park Resort. Don't forget, Sunrise with great opportunity to do some scenic lift riding, some downhill mountain biking, and great summer events coming your way soon as they close for the season as far as snow is concerned, or as far as skiing is concerned and snowboarding. But they will be opening up in the next couple of months with their summer events. Check it out at sunriseskipark.com. That's sunriseskipark.com. Time now for our Ace Hardware Keys to the Game, brought to you by the Ace Hardware. Now with the 24/7 locksmith out there available at the Ace Hardware of the White Mountains. Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Sholo, and Heber Overguard. Don't forget, anytime you're locked out of your car, home, or just need a key made, you can contact them. Their mobile unit will come to you at the Ace Hardware of the White Mountains. And the keys today for both these teams, Punt, it's one of those games where it's going to be a lopsided affair to an extent, where you've got a number 4 team coming in who's battling a team that's got 6 losses on the season, but certainly one that the Sholo Cougars couldn't take lightly.
Yeah, I think, for the Falcons, knowing they're clearly the underdog coming in against a very well-polished Sholo team, I think the big thing for them was not just to create a lot of errors and kind of shoot themselves in the foot, because this team, the Cougar team, will make you pay when you do that. And we saw that, like we talked about. The Falcons got a little choppy on the defensive side. I thought the pitcher today for the Falcons, trying to get his name here. Yeah, James. Overall, did a really good job. You know, he threw a lot of curveballs, but he had good control with that curveball, and it was kind of his go-to pitch. So from a pitching, and they stuck with him for the entire game. You know, the Cougars, as we've seen in all the games we've covered, they're just such a very good, effective hitting club. But all things considered, James battled them today, and good catching job, as we talked about, by Victor behind the plate, keeping the ball in front, with the exception of that one pass ball. He caught a really clean game, I thought. But again, I thought, you know, the big key for the Falcons coming in, I was actually a little surprised with their ability to hit the ball. Good work by them. I mean, you can't argue against the hitting performance they had. I think what really hurt them were the errors on the defensive side, and that you just can't do that against a quality team like the Cougars. And then, of course, with Sholo, I think the key for them is just they like to get runners on, because when they put runners on, they're not only a good hitting club, as I keep saying, but they're aggressive on the base pass. They like to move. You know, if they can steal bases, they'll do it. They do hit and runs. And they didn't let off the gas pedal in that respect today either. I mean, when Coach Nicholas was able to get guys on, you got to credit him, too, with a game like this. He went into his bench a little today, both up from starters, you know, moved some guys around. And then in the later innings, he saw an opportunity to get some guys in and play them. But, you know, he for the most part had them running the bases again and not letting up, and, you know, by no means laying down just because they were playing the Falcons. But, you know, it's always the key, I think, for Sholo, because they're not really super strong pitching-wise from what I've seen so far, and I think we've seen most of their pitchers. Their ace is probably Lewis, and he's a good pitcher. Not that, you know, I'm not knocking him at all, but they just don't have that overpowering pitching staff. Compared to last year, you know, we saw Zach Wynn, who could, you know, he had the skills to, in some cases, be pretty overpowering depending on who they were playing. But so anyway, the Cougars, I think what's key to them is they just hit the ball and they get runners on and moving those runners around. And they certainly did that again today, getting the 10-run rule against the Falcons.
Well, I think one of the advantages for the Cougars today, or one of the understated things that happened for them today, was the fact that they were able to get a lot of players that don't see some playing time. Sam Tate, as you mentioned, and then, of course, Brewer closing out the game for the Cougars. Valuable experience to give them dividends down the road.
You bet.
That's our Ace Hardware keys to the game, or key plays of the game, brought to you by the Ace Hardware, who now has a 24/7 locksmith now available in their Heber, Sholo, and Pine Top locations. They'll come to you. They've got a mobile unit. Call them anytime you're locked out of your car. Just need a key made. They'll do it for you at the Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Sholo, and Heber Overguard. Time now for our Indian Pine Restaurant and Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Player of the game, brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Check them out with great savings on ski and snowboarding equipment, also hiking, fishing, and hunting. You can find it at the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store just south of Pine Top on Highway 260 before you get to the casino, the Honda Casino there on the right-hand side of the road. And always a tough call for us to pick a Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player, but I think a couple of players that come to mind. First of all, you mentioned James, Austin James for the Alchesay Falcons today, and his ability to pitch, and also he did a good job with the bat today. Got a base hit in the fifth that scored one of those runs that kept him out of the 10-run rule. And the other guy that I think had a great game, I think Brandon alluded to him early on in the broadcast, and that was McTavius Victor behind the plate today. Outstanding job for him. Only one ball got past him, and that's where things really start for a ball club, is they're at that catching.
Absolutely. You know, that if you don't have a good catching performance, that can really be an Achilles heel for the entire team. To have a team anchored with a good catcher and a performance that Victor provided today, that's huge. It makes a big difference for the club. You know, another player for Alchesay I think we need to mention today was the shortstop, Brendan Alchesay. We saw him, you know, he's a real athletic player. he's quick. He's got good range at shortstop. We saw him, field some tough hit balls and make some smart plays in the infield. Thought he did a pretty good job. And we also saw him get some key hits, too, as well for the Falcons. I think he got a ribby or two today as well. So hats off to his performance for sure.
Another guy to mention is Don Chevelle Quintero, who had the two-bagger in the first that drove in the first run of the ball game and started that little 3-run rally in the first to give the Alchesay Falcons a 3-run lead. Those guys all played well, and as we mentioned him, you can't not mention Arnold Walker today, who got a two-bagger as well with a couple of RBIs. And so those were two guys that accounted for 3 of the 6 that were scored today for the Alchesay Falcons. On the Sholo side of things, there's a lot of players to talk about. Jaron Fawcett having a decent day today. He drew a walk and a base hit, comes around to score twice. Kate Smith came in relief of him in the 4th and got a couple of hits, got a two-bagger and a 2 RBI single. He's a guy off the bench that you got to talk about. Of course, Dave Shamara with a decent day today. He scores twice off of 2 hits today, goes 2 for 4, and a couple of RBIs for him. Just really some all-around solid play for all of the Sholo Cougars today. Quentin Clark came in and played and came around to score. James Lewis got a triple to lead things off in that second, and that was one of the big catalysts to that 7-run second inning for the Sholo Cougars. So it just goes on and on. Logan Barton had a terrific game today. He had 3 RBIs, got hit by a pitch, and got a base hit and a double. And on with the fielder's choice, he scores 3 times on the day. So good luck, Punt.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
One day you did not, when we look to the Sholo club, the guys that are real steady performers, always solid on the hitting side for sure, but also in the field. Or, you went through the names: Chamara, Lewis, Jace Wyatt, always really a great steady anchor behind the plate for the Cougars. But one name you did not mention, who I was really impressed with, and we've seen him come in and pitch hit in games that we've covered before, and he always does a really steady job, and that's Dustin Gaskill. Came in, I think he got a couple of hits. He didn't score any runs, it looks like, today himself, but I think he did. Didn't he get a ribby or 2? 2
RBIs off a single in the third.
He's just a steady, solid hitter. He knows his limitations. He doesn't try to power the ball, but he goes with pitches, always does a really good job hitting the ball. And not just today, but in other games you've seen where he just, he's just a really conscientious and disciplined hitter. Conscientious in the sense that, he's not trying to push outside of his capability and ability. He just goes with pitches, does a good job. We saw him make that outstanding fielding play on that really hard-hit ball. At second base, he had to react quickly. He made the right move to go deep rather than come up. Picks it up on a high hop and throws a good toss to first to get the out. And that's only one play out of several. But his play today comes to mind for me personally. And there's just so many guys we could pick from, especially in a game like today where you had so many guys making contributions. But I want to try to, if you're going to ask me, I'm going to lean towards the guys that we don't see play a lot and start a lot. And this was a good game for them to be able to step up. And Dustin got the nod from Coach Nicholas today, and I thought he did an outstanding job on both sides of the field.
So Dustin Brewer, your vote?
Dustin Gaskill.
Gaskill, sorry. So Dustin Gaskill, our Indian Pine Restaurant and Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Player of the game brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Don't forget, great selection of skiing, snowboarding equipment, all on clearance out there at the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, plus hiking, hunting, and fishing gear available to you. If you need any of those needs will be met by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. South of Pine Top on Highway 260 on the right-hand side before you get to the Honda Casino. That's going to wrap up our broadcast and wrap up our Sunrise Park Resort post-game show. Brought to you by the Sunrise Park Resort. Skiing and snowboarding, unfortunately, is done for the season. Had a terrific season despite the fact they didn't have a lot of snow. But don't forget, they're going to have a great summer lineup for you with downhill mountain biking, scenic lift rides, fishing, camping, hiking, and a whole lot more up there at the Sunrise Park Resort. Don't forget to check it out at sunriseskipark.com. That's sunriseskipark.com. That'll wrap things up for us. We remind you that you can catch today's game online at italk1067.com if you'd like to view it. That's italk1067.com. And also, this game will be rebroadcast on City 4 TV coming up next week, as they will have it on for you on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, along with games played on Saturday at 1:30. Those game times during the middle of the week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 o'clock on City 4 TV. Special thanks to our White Mountain Youth Production players today, those that participated in our video broadcast, or live streaming in our City 4 broadcast: Madison Connor, Lucas Mendoza, Mark Duncan, Donald Pierce, Annika Robinson, and our executive director, Mel West. For those guys, and back in the studio, special thanks to our in-studio producer, Royce Kincannon. I'm Camden Smith, along with Punt Cooley, inviting you back next week, where we'll have, I think we've got the, is it the Blue Ridge Snowflake game?
I believe so.
I think it's Blue Ridge Snowflake there at Blue Ridge High School. We'll check that for you, but stay tuned to italk1067.com. We'll keep you posted on the dates and times. That's going to wrap things up for us. Once again, the Cougars win at 16-6 here over the Alchesay Falcons. Until then, so long, everybody.